Hey, this is Jess, and you're listening to Your Beautiful Day on the Gratitude Radio Network.
And welcome to Your Beautiful Day on the Gratitude Radio Network. I'm Jenn, Mother of Gratitude, and we hope that you are sharing gratitude in your life and everywhere that you go. And with me are my co-hosts, Pearl Sharenza.
Hey everybody, it's awesome to be here. I'm so excited for our amazing guest we have today. I'm Pearl with Women's Successful Living, and I'm excited to kick over to Neil. Say hi, Neil.
Hey, I'm excited always to have conversations with you guys. It's just every time it becomes such a gratitude moment. And that's how I try to set those things up. And I already could see synergy from the guest and also the and her team. So it's all awesome. And we're all going to connect on Clubhouse. And I love it. All right. So go ahead. So isn't that funny? That'll end up being the biggest thing at Clubhouse. I'll have to change my thing. It has Twitter and Instagram. Next, it's got to be Clubhouse on that list. Unbelievable. But go ahead and introduce our guest, Jenn.
Oh my gosh, it has to be. I am so proud that we have her on our show today because she is such a powerhouse. And talk about a woman of gratitude. Jess owns her own label, Intonational Records. And Intonation, am I saying this right?
Yes, Intonation, yeah.
Jess has her own record label. It's called Intonation Records. She is Grammy nominated her first year of existence. Yes, yes, yep. Yes. This is what we're talking about.
Wow, yeah.
And we got a lot of no's, too. In the first, when we first started, we got a lot of no's, but I never take no, so.
You're never supposed to take no for an answer, right, Jess? You got to keep going and keep striving even when people knock you down.
Yeah, I don't even think I feel the knockdown anymore. It's kind of like you just keep going. You don't think about it. It's like it hits you for like 5 minutes and then it goes away.
Jess, what is some of the, were you musical as a child?
Yes, there really wasn't anything I was going to do but music. I think I started writing songs when I was like 5. My mother's an artist and very musical. So that was a lot of music, instruments in the house. And I just always sort of knew, what I wanted to do. And I never really thought about it too much or like what kind of life that was going to be or anything. I just sort of, as soon as I was allowed to go out or sneak out, I would definitely sneak out and go to clubs and go out and just, always sitting, by the radio and just singing every lyric and every note, to the song. So yeah, definitely knew. And I just sort of just kept on going. I did a lot of stuff. I did like a lot of demos and things, but I just kept on going. And I just always had a sort of a vision of what I wanted to do. So I didn't even tell my parents. I mean, they knew, and then they made me, go to school and stuff, but I just sort of just kept on doing it. And I never really thought about it too much. So
Awesome. Okay, good, Pearl. What's the question you have for Jess?
So Jess, let's throw it back for a second. So you're talking about, taking no, right? So don't take no for anything. I love that because I think it's so important that we know even when there's a no, there's a win in every no, right? So when we have that fear or we feel like something didn't go our way, we have that lesson, right? So share with the audience some of the lessons you learned at a young age of, you didn't just become this, Grammy success, right? So share with us, what was that lesson you learned that you thought, I'm still going to push through this no matter what, because this is my goal and I'm going to do this?
Well, I think it's been a lot of learning along the way. And you kind of the most important thing, it's funny because I'm meeting this young singer. Her mom wants me to talk to her and mentor her. And I'm trying to think of the things I want to tell her, to embark on this. And I think this sort of naivety that I had, and sort of like learning as I go, because even if you watch a lot of artists, they're learning as they go, they get better as they start, there's never a right time. You just sort of have to do it. But I mean, you have to have a thick skin. You can't take things personally. You have to, and you can cry for days, but you just kind of got to keep going. I mean, I've learned a lot of things along the way, especially being a woman too. And just being tough, and you got to be the bad cop, and you've just got to be it, because if you don't have somebody always being that for you, you sort of have to do that. So I mean, I think I've been knocked down a lot of times. I've had a lot of different managers and things, and people telling me what to do, and I followed a lot of that here and there in my life. And but I do know at this time, and for the last 10 years, that following my gut, and especially if I really have a feeling about something, that I just have to kind of push it through. And it's funny, it's like you just got to get up, you just got to keep doing it, and it's hard, it's hard, but you have to have gratitude, and you have to look at the bigger picture. And I have a friend of mine who, because I agree, it's not fair, nothing's fair, it's never fair. So if you don't have, if you always know it's never going to be fair, and you're not always, then you're not going to be disappointed. You kind of have to come at it that way a little bit too, and I have gone through so many things since last year and this year, just dealing legal things you're always coming at you every day. It's something, and it's like, you just have to look at the bigger picture of it all, and be in the moment, and see the real weight of it somehow,
Jess, what brought you to the point of opening up your own record label?
Well, it's funny, because I remember signing my first record deal, and I was like, oh, pop the champagne, my first, publishing deal, this pop the champagne, signing, look, I signed, but it was always really KT, who you met today too, and me and Richard, and people that work on my team, that, we do a lot of the work. You have to do a lot of work. You can't like sign a record deal and think they're going to do it for you. And I used to think that, actually. So you're doing it. And I just thought, God, I think because I'm also, an independent artist, I work with a lot of different labels, and I've been signed to labels where you're just signed to them. But now we're in a different place where you can be signed to a lot of labels, or you can have your own label. And I think as an artist, it's really important. Neil, I was watching your video about branding and how your brand is you. And I think all these things, especially because I write, I sing, I DJ, I am healthy, I'm spiritual. These are all my brand, So I think that as DJs, you need to also produce your own music. As artists, you need to write your own music. That's your brand, that's your style, that's how they feel you. And I felt that with the record label, that was just another extension of it. And I think it's really important, especially in this time now that we're living in, where we're can be in control of our destiny and our work, that it's important as an artist to have represent. I also really I sign a lot of other artists, and I want to be a positive force for them too, because I remember, getting my first record, and it's so, helpful when somebody lifts you up. Obviously, not everybody's going to do that. So I like to do that too. Give back.
So that's an entrepreneurial side of you, because when you're at the record label, then they're going to get a certain percentage. And you kind of said to yourself, especially, so why, even if you're signed, you're still considered independent? Define that for me. That's the confusion I'm at in understanding this industry. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're on a major label, like one of the majors, Warner, Virgin, then you're sort of signed in a 360 way, where they control everything of your existence. And when you're sort of, and I can do that with the record labels I'm working with too, but we've also changed from, people still release records, but they also release singles as well. So unless you're signed to a 3-album deal or something, and they control your touring and all your releases and all your publishing and things like that, that's more of a way to, and obviously they should give you a lot more in return as well. But this way, when I work with different labels, I can kind of release different things, different styles, because I play guitar and piano, and I do acoustics, and in my dance, I'm known in the dance world, but a lot of my songs are just really songs I wrote on the piano that I've given to DJs and worked with DJs. So for me, it just gives me a little more freedom. I release on my own things I love and things I'm into, and different stuff, which I'll be doing in the next coming months, a whole different sort of thing that my fans aren't used to. Yeah. And then I just work with different dance labels and things, but they don't, unless I sign to them for a whole bunch of albums, then I'm not tied completely.
So it's not an exclusivity. It's kind of interesting. Look at all those things. Go ahead, Pearl, with the question you have for Jess.
So let's talk about your music for a minute. So your single, Don't Let It End, I was able to listen to it. Oh my gosh, your voice is just so amazing. It's a beautiful song. So tell us a little bit behind the song and what the meaning of the song is for you.
Well, I actually started that song, and I think you heard the acoustic, and that's how it was originally written. But it was released first with Oliver Smith as a dance track. And so that's how my fans got to know it first. And then I sort of strip it back and do it as acoustic. But it's funny because I wrote it like just at the beginning of lockdown. I think I just played in New York, in Brooklyn, at this huge, beautiful place. And, it's about being on tour and sort of like feeling the emotions of what you feel like, flying all the time. We fly in, we do the show, we fly out the next day. We connect with our fans, with our fans, it's like we have these meet and greets, and we're like 20 people hugging, sweating, kissing, and it's funny because that's when I started writing it, and then the lockdown happened, and it became sort of like something else, a little bit more of like longing for that, and it kind of became like an anthem for my crowd, my family of fans and stuff. And it's really sort of, I haven't sung it live. I've sung it on my show, which I do every week on Sunday. But so it's kind of like been really for this time. It's fit in there, so it's kind of wild.
I love it. I think it's really motivating.
Thank you.
I love the beat. I love the way it makes me feel.
So you heard the one. It's very
about it too. It's empowering.
Thank you. Yeah. I love to write. I mean, I like to write. I can write a good sad song, but I like to write with hope, and I like to write with,
right.
I definitely do. Yeah.
So would you say, when you talk about your music and you talk about, who do you think you pattern your music after? If there's anything, anyone
No, not so much. I mean, I always loved Madonna, growing up, and Blondie, and, all the women. But I loved, everybody, all different types of music. So I don't really come from the dance world. I knew house music, but when I went out to California, I discovered a whole type of different music called rave music, which is not really known in New York. And but it really bases itself on melody and lyrics and vocals. So I was like drawn to it. But
I love the layering of it.
Yeah, no, it really can give you like, goosebumps. And it's such a different, if you've never heard it, like I was working in the studio, and this kid was raver, they wear those big pants and the glow sticks.
Type of
yeah. Which believe me, I've been part of for years, but I didn't know any of it. I knew, more just house music and club music of New York. And it was just really interesting to me how it really has to go together, the melody and the chords, like so much so that you like really feel it, you know? So that immediately drew me in, and I was hooked, and went off for there. I think I also saw, Neil, I was watching one of your interviews, and you said, I don't know, have you been to California?
Yes.
Okay. Because I also grew up in New York, and I never went to California. We don't go to California. So I went to California to visit my friend who was on a show, and I was like, place is interesting.
Yes,
You know, does it rain?
I'm in Pittsburgh, but I've been to California, but LA a couple times, but more New York a lot. But I'm from Pittsburgh. You drive to New York,
right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I wish the traveling. I mean, especially with what's happening, the connections. I want to get back traveling again. I want to get to California. I want to get to New York. But yeah, for sure. So you're doing your homework, Jess, on me.
I am.
Different interviews, different things.
Yeah, I saw everybody. I saw all of you, which I love that you're here.
Yes.
Because everybody did something. And I was thinking, oh, I hope because I love spirituality, and I love, you know,
that's where I'm a good producer, Jess. I'm able to put the people together. So depending on the interview, it just makes sense, because I interview like 4 or 5 celebrities a week, and I do about 13, 14 shows, not even counting Clubhouse. I don't call that radio and podcasting. I just call that fun. you know what I mean?
Well, no, that's the beauty about loving what you do.
Right, exactly. I wish that I could do that all the time, but I have my businesses to run, and I have a full-time job, so I don't know how I do it all. But I'm able to do it. But I'm hopefully my day job, even though I didn't have a day job for 10 years and I had to take one again, will disappear someday again, because I just feel this is the perfect timing. We're seeing this huge growth of what creatives are doing coming up. Yeah. I think in 2021 for sure.
Yeah, and this is the time to really find that. And I tell a lot of my friends, because, some of my friends in LA are really hurting from the pandemic. Yeah. And it's like, also, watch a lot of news. I'm like, don't do it, and are caught in it. And I'm like, listen, you got to use this time, because it's going to be over. It's going to be over. And you have to be ready for when it's over. So stop living in it now. Try to do as much as you can now and figure out what you want to do, so you're ready for it, but
it's coming. Good for
I love that you said that, Jess, because that's so true. Like the women that I work with, that's what I tell them. Like, you need to be, turn the news off. And we just moved in a new house, and my office is upstairs. So I have no TV. I come up here and do all this fun stuff I love to do. To reach out to women and like really empower, and working with Jenn. And Neil, the one thing you didn't say is you're also a great dad. So let's just throw that in there.
Yes, I was going to say your wife. You're married too, so she must be very supportive, huh?
Yeah. So, but Jess, one of the things you said a little while ago is you talked about you're going to be, there's a young girl you were talking about that's coming up in the music. And what it struck me, because I've got a really good collaborator that I do my women's retreats with, and her granddaughter has got this amazing voice. She's up and coming, own label. Her mom's got her on her own label, the whole thing. So for those young girls that are listening, like what's some of the things you want to empower onto them about like taking control of their voice and their message?
Well, I think, what I've learned, I mean, most important, what I see a lot is, and it's good to know that her mom is with her, right? And her handling her business and stuff is really got to get the business straight. I mean, if you are a creator and you're a writer and you are, making the product, you just really have to start, you have to be very organized and really keep, really register everything, because, music is really hard. There's so many things right now, like you could be like doing so many things and not making any money because you're not registering things right. There's just so many little things in the music industry that you have to do. And so I would say definitely, if you're starting out, to really get all your societies registered, everything, proper. Most important is you have to believe in what you do, because when you believe in like the song or like, it doesn't matter. You just believe in it. And that's, no one's going to say anything to you. Like when I really have a gut feeling about something, oh, you know,
Exactly.
it's amazing. Yeah. I mean, and some of the bigger songs, like I've had a lot of really big songs, and I remember, like, you know, it really is manifesting, and that energy, it's really true. And it's like hard though there's a difference between thinking about something and like really feeling it,
Right.
you know? And I think when you really feel it and think about it, you really do, you bring it to the surface. So I think it's really important to, you know, just be, and obviously if you're really young and you're finding yourself, you know, it's going to take time, but you just have to have a lot of good people around you. Your team is so important. You know, you don't want anybody that's going to put negative energy around you. You really need, you know, the people that believe in you, and keep it tight, you know, keep it, you know, and then you got to talk to Neil about branding. You know, you got to figure out what social media you are good on and do it, you know, do it right, and get your image, you know, going, that you feel. It will change over the time, you know, but I mean, and really, be good to your fans are really important. You know, if you get one, I always say, you know, like I used to travel so much and I have these cards with me, and I would be on the plane and, you know, I'd start to talk to someone and I'd give them a card, you know, my little postcard. But I think one fan a day, one fan a week, you know, gathering,
Right.
it's like slow, the communication, right? You know, with people. And that's really what it's about right now, because we don't have that. We can't go out and meet people, but you know, social media. Yeah, it's really.
I love that.
And
one
you do.
fan a day, one fan a week, and just keep letting it snowball through.
Because they say 1,000 true fans, you know, that's
Right.
it's 1,000 true fans, you know, like those people that'll go to bat for you and really, and, you know, it's, you know, you have to also not let it zap you of everything. You know, you have to do it and give yourself a good amount of time to do it. But, you know, it's building.
Share with us real quick. You have a new set of remixes coming out next week.
I do.
Back Under the Midnight Sun, and that your album is going to be celebrating your career.
Yeah. They were like, you need to do a best of, because I have a lot of songs, but I said, no, I want to it's called Memento. So it's a 2 album. It's going to be on vinyl too. So it's a 2 CD set and album. They'll do a special poster. But it's a lot of like the big songs that I've had remixed. And then there's like, I think about 7 new songs as well in it. So I have been trying to get this done, and I have a deadline of April that everything has to be in. So it should be out like in the summer, around then. So, but that's a really big one. And some of the remixes have come out already, and Under the Midnight Sun is one of them. It came out first as a more crossover sort of, it was on the radio, mainstream, and then we remixed it by Martin DeYoung and Somna, which are, one's more progressive, and one's more trance, which I have a lot of fans in trance music. I know you know that, Neil. You're all coming out to the club when we can do it again.
Oh my
God. We're going to go at the clubs. Yeah, I'm ready to club someday for sure.
Well, it's definitely something that I can do with my art, my abstract emotionalism, when I have my fire and I got my music out with me and I'm just throwing paint. It's definitely some music
that's beautiful.
Really inspirational. Especially, I love the title. I love it. Under the Midnight Sun. It's
we did a beautiful video to it. There's a video out to it that we shot in the desert in California. It was really beautiful. So yeah, this one was out last year, and then the remixes are coming out. And then I'm releasing in April 11th a song called Lay Down, which is from my new artist album, which is a little bit more soulful, a little bit more like what I started out with many years ago before I got into dance. I sort of went back to it, and I feel like it's got me, a lot of guitar and piano, but it's still electronic, but a little bit more mid-tempo, not just 4 on the floor and stuff.
So tell me about your live you do every Sunday.
Well, I've been having a great time. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, and Mixcloud, and VK, which is a Russian Facebook. And it's a 2-hour, I have a radio show, which I've been doing for like 6-7 years.
Oh, wow.
Every week, called Unleash the Beat, which is syndicated all over the world. It's really great. But it's like, it's something you do every week. I've kept up with it. And it takes a lot of time, but it's really been, it's really interesting because it really keeps me connected to music changes, especially in dance music. Every week they're into something. So I get a lot of promos. I have to go through it. So I do an hour show that's syndicated all over the world. And then I do it live on Twitch and YouTube and Mixcloud at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sundays for 2 hours, DJing, singing, which is sort of like my live show, which I do now.
So for the 2 hours, that's the same thing. It goes out to syndication too, Jess?
No, it's a little different. So the hour, I do play the songs that I've picked for the week, but then I add a lot more of the things in. Because it's 2 hours, I sort of start a little slower and, beef up to the harder stuff.
Gotcha. Good, Pearl.
So Jess, I was going to ask you, so where does everybody find you? We've talked about Clubhouse. So tell us where we can find you social media wise. Share all that with us.
Yes, I am on Clubhouse and Official Jess, but I haven't done my Clubhouse yet, but I will be on your Clubhouses, so you'll see me there. But I'm on Twitch, Official Jess, Facebook, Jess Official, which is a little different. Twitter, official_Jess, and Official Jess on Instagram. And usually if you just do Official Jess, you'll find me. And my officialjess.com.
Awesome. Go ahead, Jen, for that gratitude question though.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I have just been having so much fun. So much fun talking.
Me too.
And I know, so is everyone else listening with all of our listeners. You can't wait to plug in your music and just zoom through the day. Do you have one gratitude moment that you could share with us?
Wow. Well, I think every day is a gratitude moment when I wake up. But I mean, when I wake up in the morning, I really try to just, I go outside and I look around and I try to just be in the moment. And, sometimes when you can get out of your head and sort of I just try to take in, everything, like the trees, the sky. I mean, especially being on the East Coast, I'm on the East Coast now and actually thinking about coming back to the East Coast. But there's something so special about the New York sky and atmosphere, the energy. And I just try to I've definitely be in the moment in awareness and just try to see the simplicity and the beauty of everything. I mean, if there's one moment, that's my moment every day. And I try to keep that coming in when things are coming at me all the time. But I mean, I just think I'm in general very grateful for the people in my life and that have been in my life for a while now and just supported me and been with me on this journey.
Awesome. Go ahead, Jen, and close us out, please.
Thank you so much for everybody that's been listening with us. We know that you have been so inspired by Jess and just loving this soulful interview, sitting down with you. Thank you so much, Jess, for being on our show. She is amazing. She owns her own record label, International Records, and she's a Grammy nominated woman. I mean, what can we say?
Thank you.
How amazing.
It's been awesome. Yeah.
But I can see, Jess, that you're not done.
Oh, no. I think this year is really important. So it's been crazy, everything, how it makes you see things, I think, right? I mean, it's been really hard, but it's been also very eye-opening.
Wow, Jess, I'm going with spirit. When spirit happens, I just see everything completely opening up, the heavens opening up and raining down on making up for everything that's happened to you.
Yeah.
And continue with your gratitude in the morning. That's what I do. I try to wake up 30 minutes beforehand and just say thank you and stay in gratitude, and you're already there. And I just see a lot of really great stuff.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So nice to be with you all. Thank you so much, Neil. Thank you, Pearl. Thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
So awesome. And I am going to keep in touch, and I'm going to see you on Clubhouse, all of you, but I'm going to keep in touch because I really would love nothing more than to play in New York and you all to come out.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Come to Tampa too.
Oh, I played once at the Tampa Amp.
Oh,
Love it.
Awesome.
Love it.
Check out her music. Check out Jess. She's amazing. And remember, you're blessed, you're loved, and you're sacred. Mwah. Have a
Mwah, mwah.
Mwah.
Thank you, Neil. Thank
All
you,
right,
Pearl.
guys.
Thank you, Jen.
You're welcome, sweetie.